So the next question goes to Mr. Biswajit Barua. What are some of the key drivers of India's economic growth in recent years, and what potential do they hold in the future? And I would talk about your mobility business, the smart passenger mobility.
Yes.
Sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are doing well. As I gave my introduction there also, I have studied a lot about the mobility and the Indian aspect into it. I will cut it very short because I love public speaking, because if I go on, the whole day will be less. To cut it short, I generally vouch for Modi ji's Make in India. As I told you, if we want to pitch our product in the world market, we need to understand the Indian perspective well in front, taking inspiration from others too. This market is all about mutual cooperation. You can't exist alone. And we have representation from Denmark here. So I'd like to tell you, Europe is our biggest inspiration. We have learned a lot about mobility from Europe, Scandinavian countries, France, Belgium. And when we tried and understood the European perspective, and we thought about the Indian perspective, we came to know that we need India curated products. And it's not only about technology, as I told you in this morning, this is about the general public. When I was doing my case studies, because as I told you, I am from a very beautiful place, Assam, in Northeast India. Modi ji was there. I was very happy. Yeah, I was very happy.
Bihu festival.
Yeah, but I have stayed for 14 years in Karnataka.
Ah.
So basically, I have stayed in Jodhpur for 3 years.
So you travel across.
Yeah, so that's why I know around 9 Indian languages.
Oh my God, that's so. In fact, if you really want to achieve great, and India is blessed to have so many languages, and every 100 kilometers we have got different dialects.
And I was happy.
Knowing 9 languages.
And I was happy that, someone is from Nagaland too.
Ah, yes.
Because I know Nagamese also.
Ah.
So the thing is, when I did my case studies in my native in Assam, in Guwahati, when I went and asked about your questions to the, of case studies to the commuters, I spoke to women passengers. I spoke to senior citizens. I spoke to bus drivers.
Those who have been traveling in buses and the public vehicles, right?
Because we are working for the bus industry of India. Fine. For whom we are making the buses, it's for the public. Why not get the public opinion what kind of buses they want? Instead of putting the buses for the technology's sake that we want to put the buses. So when I went there and asked, I have list of demands and comments and everything, which helped me to build such a beautiful blueprint of the product. Let me tell you, we have set up the company, we have re-established the company post-COVID in 2021. We have business with USA and Singapore right now. Why? Because this product is made in India.
So now, we're talking about India's growth in the global economy, ladies and gentlemen. Make in India ka thappa pada hai, and that's how they've been getting business in different countries.
Yeah. So when I tell that I'm from India, I'm an entrepreneur from India, the US representative was so much happy to know that they were very much eager to do the business. And yes, Modi ji's effect is there. He has put India into the world forum in a great way. And उनको देखता हूँ तो मुझे पैट्रियोटिज्म आती है, मुझे भारतीयता, मुझे खुद की एक भारतीय होने का एक गर्व होता है. और मैं हमेशा कोशिश करता हूँ कि मैं जहाँ भी जाऊँ मैं हिंदी का उपयोग करूँ और शुद्ध हिंदी बोलूँ, क्योंकि जब भी मैं मोदी जी को देखता हूँ वो हिंदी बोलते मुझे इतनी खुशी होती है.
We learn a lot from
जी
them.
तो बातें क्या है. सेकंड में एक तो मैंने मोबिलिटी ये मेक इन इंडिया के बारे में बोला. सेकंड में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बोलना चाहूँगा. आई वांट टू स्पीक अबाउट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. First is let me tell you about my product. My product is everything for women's safety and security, senior citizen well-being, and care for the bus driver. Through various technologies, we are, trying to give subscription-based products to the bus fleet operators. Because even the bus fleet operators never thought of all these things. They were just into buying the buses and giving the service. But what about giving proper services, taking care of the people? Because they are our main assets. So this was very important. So next, very cutting it very short, I want to tell about the infrastructure part. Look, now this is the age of e-mobility, electric mobility. Now very soon, hydrogen is coming into, this stage. Europe already has hydrogen buses. I'm very much keen on the European market. It inspires me a lot. About the infrastructure. Do we have a proper electric charging infrastructure in our country? This is the main question I want to ask.
For the electric,
Yes.
for the electric vehicles.
For the electric vehicles. You go out in Europe, you will find chargers everywhere. You have to provide that kind of an infrastructure. As I told you, this is the age of mutual cooperation, not for competing. If you compete,
Yes.
the mankind won't grow. Let us work together.
Yeah.
And first of all, my policies are not China-centric. I want to create my own benchmarks and make ourselves a global power. When people ask me, you got around, 5 hours till now in the span of around 6 to 7 years, how do you achieve it? मैंने किसी के साथ compete नहीं किया है आज तक. I have set my own benchmarks because I know what I am capable of doing. Let me concentrate on myself, either comparing with some other person, because that will limit myself. Even I don't know my own potentials. Maybe I have very good other potential, unique potentials, my own USPs, which are very much maybe unique to me, my USPs. So when we do this in our business field, taking Make in India into consideration, you will be the global power. There are many potentials. Yes, of course. So when, as you told, कि एक surroundings भी matter करती है. मैंने अपने आप को ये कोशिश की कि I always keep my surroundings very positive, and books have helped me a lot. I just want to name one author who is my idol, Robin Sharma. Now I am reading the Everyday Hero, that book. It is not yet finished also. I have already finished 5 a.m. Club. Now I am with this Everyday Hero Manifesto. He is writing another book. It's coming very soon. So, there are many things, but if
You're talking about technology, you're talking about Make in India.
Yeah.
And then the third one, any other point that you would like to?
Yeah, actually, I was telling about, a simple thing called the centralized policies. Core centralized policies. Yes, of course, today we have core centralized policies, transport policies, which does play an important role. But of course, as I tell you, if we create product for the mass, if we create product for the public, that will be the real sense of public transport. Please do it for the people. When you do it for the people, and as I told you, this is the age of mutual cooperation, so that the mankind grows. Apart from keeping in view Make in India, keeping in view the Indian perspective.
I'll talk about, when you pointed out on the infrastructure, I'll
Yes.
tell about one major bus terminus out here, which is
Yeah.
a public transport bus terminus nearby to Uttam Nagar. I live in Vikaspuri, so when we move out of Vikaspuri, we need to go to the airport or we need to go to any of the places, we need to pass that area. And that place is super crowded.
Yeah.
Super. Because we spend almost half an hour to just cross one crossing due to the terminus because the infrastructure is not proper there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, and Delhi government has been imposing a lot of buses. In fact, last year also he imposed a lot of buses and he did free services, free drives for the women. But I guess, I've been seeing a lot of buses because what happens is due to the lot of buses coming into the main bus terminus, as the infrastructure is not there, the buses, the transport, it takes a lot of traffic to go in. So I guess, their point is very valid and we need to really think about the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yes, when you talk about the women's safety, and I guess these are very valid points for any of the public transport,
Yeah.
And thank you so much on...
I just want to add one point. See, if you travel on the, DTC buses or any kind of buses, maybe in some buses you will find facilities for handicapped people. Do we have an infrastructure wherein a person with limited mobility can board the bus?
A ramp. Yeah.
No.
it's not there.
So, if we are making smart cities, we have to even take care of the smart transport too.
Yes.
So these are
guess-
very valid points because I have been observing these things in my case studies. And why I am stressing too much on Europe? Because they do have such infrastructures.
I guess, we learn from a few of the countries, as you
Yeah.
mentioned about Europe, that they have got fantastic, bus,
Yeah.
especially the smart bus transport for the people. I guess, we learn from our mistakes also. We learn, and
Yeah.
as you say, that you've been doing a lot of case studies, talking to the people, what are their problems. I guess we get to have the nerves of the people. कि क्या problem क्या है? Ground level पे बात करनी चाहिए, and then instead of just giving up crores and crores of rupees to somebody who's making a vehicle